Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another vlog of Daily Return Exotics. My name is Ashish and that's Aditya. We have this beautiful surroundings with this beautiful machine. So we'll be having a short review on this Tata Harrier 2020. This is the all new 2020 Tata Harrier. So let's start with the engine bay. Oh man, the hood is so damn heavy. It also got some proper insulation from what the last year did not have it. It has got this very good stuff in Cryotech 170 engine. We'll talk more about the engine later when we get driving. So let's close it. Close it with a proper thud. And oh my god, what a sexy looking vehicle. These DRLs, they really stand up on this vehicle. And the headlight is having a projector setup with the cornering function. It means that when you turn the vehicle, there's also a right and left lamps which lit up. It could have been better if Tata had offered all LED headlamps. Just look at this, there is nothing to complain and attention to detail on this vehicle. Now let's get back to the rear. But here the case is something different. The tail lamps are all LED with the piano black finish that is running all over the trunk, which looks really menacing on this vehicle. And also this chrome treatment all around the roof to reduce the overall bulk and everything. And the handlebars are also finished in the chrome treatment, and also it has got the request sensor on both the handlebars, the driver as well as the co-passenger handlebar, which is not done by many of the manufacturers except for the Suzuki. The ground clearance is massive of this vehicle at 205 mm, which is larger than the Jeep Compass, which has around 177 mm to 178 mm of ground clearance. It's pretty tall, and these alloys are of 17 inches, that is somewhere about 235, 65, 17, which pretty good suit this vehicle. Like, yeah, it pretty stands up on those pretty good alloys. Let's check up on the spare wheel. Let me quickly show you the boot. This is a 445 liters boot, which you can also split the rear seat into 60-40 split seat. That will increase the boot carrying capacity up to 810 liters. That is like a massive boot. They can almost fit a office into it. So let us check the spare wheel. It has got there is a jack inside the rear headrest. Oh man, there is no spare wheel inside the boot. I think so it is somewhere down below. Let us check it out. So the spare wheel must be somewhere down here. That's here, if you guys can see it. This is my personal favorite color, that is this red. It really appeals the most to everyone and also to me. There are also other colors available in this Tata Harrier, but this is the one which appeals the most to me because this is the first time the Tata has got the red color in its. Now the exterior bits are all covered. Now let's jump into the rear seat and let's see the comfort on offer. As soon as you get into the rear seats, you realize that how comfortable this rear seats are, and also the under thigh support is pretty well, and the headroom is also quite decent, like not much or not too less. Because of the panoramic sunroof, the headroom is cut down a bit, and the handlebar also gets some soft touches and also these hard plastics which are on there. These are the speakers, tweeters, everything. And at the rear, the headrests are only two headrests are there. The middle passenger does not get any headrest, and the floor is also almost flat. Not almost flat, but it is flat. It will be quite comfortable for the center passenger also. The rear seats are done. They are pretty comfortable, and the legroom is also pretty good. Now let's jump into the front seats and see what the front seat has. This is the engine start stop button, and the driver seat gets electronic adjustability seats, just for the driver seat, not for the passenger seat. For the lumbar support for the front seats, that is, you can just press it and the lumbar support will be opened. So let's see what all it has got in the driver seat. So first let me turn on the car. This is the engine start stop button. I'll need to hold on the brake. So here it rose to life by making a complete swipe with this beautiful display. This is the infotainment system. This is how the cabin looks, like pretty well covered and pretty well stuffed together. It gets these soft touches on the handle doors, same as the rear seats, and also these hard plastics on the dashboard. There is some type of a wooden finish on this thing, which quite looks premium and pretty well set. And it has a lot to offer, like a typical aeroplane styled handbrake, the gear lever. The scroll is for the city mode, wet mode, and the rough mode. This is for the hill descent control, and this is for the traction. Got the physical AC controls, unlike the MG Hector, which has got in-display controls, which is a heck to operate, and this has an automatic climate control. They also got this sports mode button, eco mode button, hazard light button, and this is for the front fog lamp, and this is for the rear fog lamp buttons. It has also got space under the center armrest, that is, it has got a 12-volt charging socket with the USB port. It has also got a cooled glove box in it, which is pretty big, and also has got a paper holding separate compartment. Now let's come back to the analog digital unit of the car. It looks pretty good. Like, it has got too much to offer. Like, it gets the distance to empty, instant fuel economy, and trip A, trip B, power, torque. Then also get some settings like illumination of the screen, service reminder, about. That's it. Nothing much, but it is quite informative for the price range. This is where it shows the speed. This is where the tachometer and gear positioning indicator and which mode you are in. It shows everything. The fuel, heat, temperature, and that is the vehicle temperature, and that is the outside temperature, time. That's it. Nothing much to offer. These are the buttons for the cruise control, and to the left these are the controls for operating the infotainment system, and these are the controls for the wipers. These are the controls for the headlights. It also gets automatic headlights and rain sensing wipers, which is a good thing at this price range. It has also got auto dimming inside the rear view mirror. As you can see, it is here, and the infotainment system has a lot to offer. Like, you can see it is sleek to use. Like, you can control the brightness of the system. It has got these zing modes, like the party modes. You can switch between them, like Zeal, user mode, Zen mode. Like, it has too many things to offer. It has also got these settings in the panel. That is, you can set the vehicle setup. That is, you can set the park assist. Like, it will give you the commands like reversing your vehicle, and this is the lighting effects. Like, you can change the approach lamp, that is available in the remote. When you park your vehicle, and if it is in the night, you don't get any light, it will be on for 60 to 30 seconds as you set it here in the system. And these are the lighting effects. That is the same thing. Then it also gets this phone setup, audio setup. Those are all the equalizer settings, and also system setup. That is, you can set the date, time. You can factory set the system, or you can also get the themes. Like, you can choose a theme. Like, it is now red. You can change it. That is the Zing, Zeal, and user mode, which you get in the home screen. That's it. Nothing more in this thing. You can also control the AC from this system. That is from here. Also you can control the AC. So for now, let us turn it off. It also gets this Bluetooth connectivity, USB, FM, AM, iPod aux, everything. It also gets the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And this is the reverse cam, which is now visible. You can just press a button to turn it on and turn it off. That's it. So let us quickly play an audio into this. And hear the beats on this system. you guys heard, the audio quality on this vehicle is the best. In this range you cannot get anything better than this thing. So on the safety front, it gets 6 airbags with including the curtain airbags. It also gets rollover mitigation function and also cornering stability, ESC, EBD, ABS, you name it, it has got each and everything in it. Now that's enough of talking. Let's get driving and also enjoy the cinematic shots. So let's start with the driving. On the driving front, the Harrier has really comfortable suspensions, comfortable driving posture, everything is just on point. So on the performance mark, let's test it. I'll just start it by launching the vehicle. That is, let's start it. So let's start the performance test. First we'll put the vehicle into sports mode.
Sport drive mode activated.
So when we put it in the sports mode, we cannot turn off the traction control. So now let's launch the vehicle. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Revs up to almost 2000 RPM. Oh man, it has got so much power. It really pulls way till that red line, that is 4500 RPM, and just keeps on going. And you can also hear the rumble. It sounds so good. There is no shoot as such in the engine, but post release on RPM you can feel the surge in the power. It really revs up to the red line very well. And this is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, a diesel engine, which produces 167 HP at 3570 RPM and 350 Nm of torque at as early as 2500 RPM, which really kicks your pants in. And as to talk about the gearbox combined with this 2-liter engine is really sleek. You don't even feel the shifting of the gears. And in the manual mode, that is when you put the vehicle into the manual mode, it automatically switches to sports mode. That is really a good thing about the car, and it holds up the gear to the very red line, and it is convenient for the driver to take the manual control of the car. So let me demonstrate you to the in the manual mode. So the vehicle is in the manual mode, it is in the sports mode and in the first gear. Now as you see, I punch the throttle, pedal to the metal, you can see it almost red lines and does not shift over 400 RPM. I wish that we could turn off the traction control when it is in the sports mode, but we cannot. But if we could turn traction control off, then we could have enjoyed the raw power of the vehicle. It is raining like cats and dogs out here, so I'm not able to push the vehicle to its limits, but we are enjoying it in these woods and twisties. So let's see if we get a better corner or a better stretch where we can push the car to its extreme limits. So as it is raining now, let me check it by putting it in the wet mode. So switching it to
rough road mode activated. Wet mode activated.
So now the vehicle is in the wet mode. Let's see what is the difference in the vehicle. The throttle response is altered a bit, and also the braking has been improved slightly, nothing much, but also the grip from the tires and the performance has been altered. The power delivery is smoothened out throughout the rev band. Actually cannot go to the very red line, but you feel very stuck to the ground without any sliding or missteerings. So I'm taking these corners at 60 km per hour, and the body roll is really very well contained. I absolutely don't feel anything inside the cabin. So we have a small patch of rough road out here. So we are putting the vehicle into the rough mode. So let's see what's the difference into the vehicle. The vehicle just crawls over these bumps, and you absolutely don't feel anything inside the cabin, and you also sit very steady. It just glides over these bumpy roads, like it has got a pretty good traction on these roads. So the claimed mileage is 14 kmpl on the automatics, and on the manuals you get around 16 kmpl, and fuel liter capacity is 50 liters, so you can get a good range on this vehicle. The steering feels pretty center weight, not too heavy or not too light. But when it comes to taking a 3-point turn, you realize that how heavy the steering wheel feels. So I got into this woods, and we have got a pretty good off-road here. So the vehicle is in the rough road mode. So let's see how it handles. So it managed to crawl over these roads really well. It is just gliding over the through these terrains, but it could have been better if Tata had offered a 4-wheel drive option in it. Like, it would have been the best package for the price range.
Conclude it at rupees the top. This is the top variant automatic at 16.79 ex showroom. Feature packed, fun to ride, a powerful yet and all the utilities one could wish for. Thanks to Manikbag Automobiles for letting me do this review here out in the woods, also the off-road, and in Belgaum. If you are here in Belgaum, Karnataka, or anywhere in Karnataka, they have a branch of showrooms. You can contact them. I'll leave the GMap link in the description below. Thank you. Thanks for watching. This is Aditya.